Hello world of YouTube and welcome to another episode of Comic Haul, the segment where I add comic books to my comic book collection, and I got a lot that I'm adding today. Now these aren't targeted grabs, so remember when I talked about in the first episode having random comics that I got from a store that sold them in like variety packs? Well, I bought 2 of those today, and the store is called Ollie's, and they have these comic book packs where you only see 4 of the comics, 4 covers, well 2 per pack. You can see the front and the back, and I bought 2 of them, and it's like $5 and you get 10 comics. So clearly there's some diamonds in the rough that you can find, because that's where I found one of the issues of Blood and Thunder. They just take a bunch of comics of both popular and relatively obscure comic book properties and slap them together. And so I got just a whole bunch of that to go through today. So let's get started. This shiny cover isn't what drew me to it, but I put it up front because it's the shiniest comic book cover I own. I had an Avengers comic that had a similar sheen to its cover, but that was from when I was a kid and it's long gone. But this is Magnus, Robot Fighter. It is a Valiant, the same publisher as Turok back in the day, comic. I don't know anything about this, but this is issue 25. So, yeah, I mean, it's from the 90s. It's got an ad for Alien 3 on the back, and it's got that kind of weird fantasy sci-fi look to it, so that'll be an interesting read, I'm sure. We have issue number 1 of Lady Demon. Oh, you can't even see that. Issue 1 of Lady Demon, a Dynamite property, something that I also don't know anything about. So, but it's got a little more of a modern look to its art. But yeah, I don't know anything about this. At least it's issue 1, so I could jump in easier than I can with Magnus Robot Fighter. I have a Marvel comic, Muties, number 4. I'm guessing this has something to do with mutants, because it's called Muties. I don't know when this was published, but it has like this weird, its ads look like it's from the 2000s. Spider-Man's in this. It looks like Jay Leno's in this. Yeah, Jay Leno and Spider-Man are in this, which is weird. Yeah, 2002. Love, Lisa. Muties, number 4. We have a DC property, Outsiders, issue number 41. State of Grace. This is around 2006 is when this was published, and I don't know anything about the Outsiders, but even opening up the first page, Nightwing's involved, so that's cool. Got another Valiant property, Psi-Lords. Also, they are inconsistently bagged. Some have the covers, some don't. Some are just naked in the wild. But we have Psi-Lords. I think I have a property of this Psi-Force. This is Psi-Lords, presented in Valiant Vision, whatever that is. This is number 3, so at least I shouldn't have that many issues getting into, that many problems following the story. But I don't know. It's got, like, fractals all around it, so that's interesting. Would you guys be interested in me, like, showing off one of these and then reading them before I film the comic haul and talking about it? Would that be more interesting? Or do you guys like my more raw reactions to them? We have an Image property, Berzerkers. Looks very 90s video game cover art. They have an advertisement for Youngblood on the back. That's a comic that I do own some of. A property. And it has a very minimalist style to its art. Or to its comic panel. That's kind of neat. Kind of like that. When was this published? 1995. This is Berzerkers, number 3, volume 1. That's who did this. This is a Rob Liefeld creation. Didn't know that. But Rob Liefeld made the Berzerkers, so that's neat. I don't know how to read this. It is an Ellipse Comics, number 2. What is this? Laser, Eraser, and PressButton. This is from 1985. This is some, like, 80s ass sci-fi shit. Look at that. That is old school. I don't know anything. That's what I like about buying these things, because you get some properties that you're vaguely familiar with, or some that you know, and then you get shit like this. Like, a lot of my weird-looking comics I got from these, and it's bizarre. It's so bizarre. But I love shit like this, because you can find some cool stuff. And I'm kind of excited to read this, even though it's issue number 2. That's kind of cool. Next one, another Image property. Wildcats. Covert Action Teams. Wild Covert Action Teams. Guessing this is another 90s property. In 1996. Art looks very of the 90s. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ads on the back. Looks like another space team, because there's a lot of those in comic books. It looks like another one of those. There's a property I am familiar with. Red Sonja. This is issue number 0, the introductory for an arc of Red Sonja. In the beginning, from 2016. So this will tell you a little bit more about that character, which is pretty cool, because I don't know a whole lot about her. But now I've got issue 0. That's neat. This is one of the ones that was on the front, and this is how they get you. This is how they sink you. This is how they get you in. This is how they get you going. This is what they do to get you in on that. We have Gotham Knights, a Batman arc. This is number 3. This is part 3 of 4, so I do want to get the rest of these. But this is a Batman arc from the 90s, from 1992. And I don't know anything about this, but it starts, this is like near the end of it, so I don't want to get too much into it. But I do like the cover. I like that cover. I like the way that looks, so that's cool. And then what was on the front of another one that sold me was The Punisher. This says, Germany has the Autobahn. Now Mexico has the Slaughterbahn. I don't know what the fuck this is about. But it's got The Punisher on like a death Autobahn, and I'm all for that. So that's what sold me on one of them, was the fact that I could get a seemingly one-off Punisher. We have Lady Rawhide, another Dynamite property. This is issue number 2. This is published in 2013. Looks like a Western femme fatale, which is kind of neat. I'd be interested in getting like the first issue so that I can get caught up on the story. I like a good Western hero every now and again. It'd be cool to see what this character has in store. We have an edgy-looking comic from Marvel, The Brotherhood, number 1, Revolution, not Evolution. I don't know what the fuck this is about, but Tobacco is whack. When the fuck was this published? It looks like it was published in the 90s. No, it's 2001. Stanley presents Be All That You Can Be. It is an X-Men story, maybe? Maybe? I don't know. But it definitely looks like late 90s, early 2000s, edgy, stop the man type story. I don't know anything about this, but I'm excited to read it. Because even though it has that very edgelord cover, it could bring out a good story, especially if it has to do with mutants. I don't know if it does, but it might. We have... This is a My Comic Shop purchase. This is an old-looking comic. This is US 1, number 3, from 1983. Rhyme of the Ancient Highwayman. I don't know shit about this, but out of all the ones I think that are in here, this might be the least interesting to me, because the title is just really vague and weird. And I'm not sold on this guy smiling up in the corner. We have another Muties. Issue number 6. It's kind of neat. Another one of these. It looks like it's from a different time, though. No, 2002. I think this is from the same era. The art looks so different, though. I didn't realize I had 2 of these in here. I just kind of stacked these up and didn't really see what I had. But now I really want to read these and see what the story's like, because I like that the art style changes across issues, and that's pretty neat. I like this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to read these and do a video on it at some point. We have Badger, another hero I don't know anything about, but And look, this dude just got snakes. He's a badger snake man. This is where the badger meme came from. It's from 1989. I don't know shit about this. This is issue number 45, though. So this is deep in the badger lore. I'm gonna have to do some digging on Badger, because I don't know shit about him. But he looks pretty bad. This is the longest one I have. The Black Terror, Seduction of Deceit, Book 3. It's another Eclipse publish. Again, I don't know anything about this, but it looks kind of like a graphic novel. It's got some sex in it, so that's... read into that how you will. I've never heard of this before. I don't know anything about it. But I kind of like the watercolor art style. That's kind of neat. Kind of gives me some Max Payne vibes. That's neat. Looks like there's some action, some drama, some death, some sex, some love. So that's kind of neat. When was this made? It's made in 1990. That's kind of interesting for 1990. I guess for independent comics, you did some artsy shit like this, where you try to tell a story in like a really artistic-looking way. Last couple of ones we have Gen 13. Again, don't know anything about Gen 13. It's an Image property. This is from 1998, which looks a little ahead of its time for 1998 as far as the art's concerned. Oh, and there's an Anthrax ad in here for Volume 8. I remember that record. Whoo! Alright. But, yeah, I don't know what the fuck this is, but we'll, have to read it and see what it looks like. There's mutants, or it looks like something similar to mutants in this. Some of the superpowers look like another ragtag team of misfits getting into some shit. This is Hope. They had advertisements for Three Rivers Comic-Con in the, in there. This is from 2019, yeah, so this is looks like a little more of an independent joint. Looks a little more contemporary in its art. Obviously I don't know anything about this, but seems like a passion project for somebody. I have to read this. I'll have to give this a read and see what I think about it. It's from Source Point Press. Which is kind of neat. It's written by Dirk Manning. So, yeah. I don't know anything about this, but, I mean, it's got a cute cover. And it's cool to put some independent stuff in there, too. And the last one we got is, Batman, or Detective Comics, featuring Batman. It's part of Nightfall, issue 664, July 93. I think it's part of the Batman breaking his back story. Because it starts off with Bane tossing Batman off a roof, which is insane. After he's beat the piss out of Batman. It's kind of cool that was included. Again, gems in the rough. Gems amongst the independent and lesser known stuff. But I definitely want to look into this. It's got Batman, it's got the Joker, it's got Bane. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's a nice little find, though. And that's what I got. That's what I got in my Ollie's comic haul. Which I'll want to do more of these in the future now that I know there's an Ollie's nearby. As you saw, you get a variety of stuff from their comic stuff. You get some new stuff, some old stuff, some rare stuff, some kind of interesting oddities from the comic world. And yeah, that was that. I thought about getting more of this Marvel Knights run that I started to get, but I didn't. I just got those. I want to sit down and talk about it. Again, my question I have for you guys is, do you think I should read some of those before I talk about them on here? Or do you like my raw reactions to seeing them really for the first time and opening the pages and stuff? Let me know in those comments down below. But that's pretty much it. That's what I added to my haul today, to my collection today. That was my haul recently. Thank you for watching. Thank you for support here and on Patreon. I have been Viral Rack. You guys have good days, stops, and situations. And I'll see you another day.